Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Runt's Barbecue, where it's the every Tuesday night edition of the Muskogee Rougher Football Coaches Show, live here on Rougher TV, as well as heard on Okie Country 1017 KTFX. Coach, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 5-0, off to a fantastic start here in 22.
What a great homecoming! You know, good game, a lot of people, big crowd. And the kids played well. And, you know, we started off, Bill, just a little slow maybe, but, you know, that's good. I think it took us a little time to kind of get a feel for what we needed to do. But we played well all through, and a lot of kids got the opportunity to get on the field. So you couldn't ask for a better homecoming and a better outcome.
Indeed it was. I mean, everything just seemed to fit together. It was kind of like you were trying to put all the pieces together to the old homecoming floats.
Right.
All the things weren't just quite connecting just exactly right. But then once all the parts fit, there was no stopping the Rougher machine.
Nope, there wasn't. And like I said, offensively, defensively, kicking game, we were good in all three phases. And you know, it's kind of was interesting to come out and watch Putnam City, and we kind of talked about the remedy to deal with them. And I think our kids did a great job of that. We got real physical, and whenever we got the first three possessions over with and it started going downhill, we didn't see the same Putnam City team after that, is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly right. Now you're off to the 2-0 start. That's the most important part of this record. 5-0 on the year is great, but 2-0 in district play is where you wanted to be, and looking for win number 3 coming up Friday against U.S. Grant.
Correct. It's fun walking in. You know, we have our meeting with our kids on Sunday afternoon.
Right.
And, you know, what we do during this time of year, especially when you're on top of the district, is we write the district standings up. And, you know, they laugh at me a little bit because Muskogee's on top, but Stillwater's, we both have 30 points. We've both won 2 games with our max points. Why are we on top, Coach? Because the M's before S. That's why. So we're on top right now. It feels good, Bill. It's fun to talk about.
Absolutely. It's nice to be able to laugh about it instead of trying to sit here and figure out, okay, well, if we can win this, and this game and get help from this person over here. When you can control your own destiny, it's a lot easier to achieve the goal.
It is, and our kids are starting to know that, and we do that for a purpose. We want them to understand what's going on and how the game works and how the district standings work. So, no, it's a lot of fun, and now they have an interest in it. You know, it's more important to them, and they have a better understanding. And it's fun to see that they have an interest in not only going out and winning football games, but strategically as we progress through this on how it works.
Well, that certainly increases the amount of people that are going to do it again Friday night traveling to U.S. Grant. But when you win, it's kind of like the old Field of Dreams. Build it and they will come. Well, when you win, they will come.
Yep. You know, we got an opportunity. You know, a lot of people want to culture. I said, you can present all the culture stuff you want. It's never going to come until you win. So, no doubt, Bill. It's good stuff.
It is good stuff. It is good for the Roughers to be at 5-0. And it's, speaking of good stuff, it's good stuff here at Runt's Barbecue, where they say a little better barbecue. It's a whole lot better barbecue anytime you come here. And if you leave here hungry, it's your own fault. Anyway, we're going to take our first time out, and when we come back, we're going to bring in the defensive coordinator, whose team has been leaving its bumps and bruises on the opponent, Steve Craver. He'll be our guest. And then a guy that knows a little bit about the Macknac Special. Travion will be with us a little bit later on in our second segment when we continue the Tuesday night Rougher Coaches Show live from Runt's Barbecue on Rougher TV and Okie Country 1017.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times, when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Whether you're shopping for a new Chevrolet or want to trade and get paid, power up! It's the Supercharged Sales Event at J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. You know what up to $1,500 more for your trade means? Supercharged savings. Shop more new Chevy. Inventory arriving daily. Don't overpay. Come see Jay. Get a trade-in bonus up to $1,500 when you buy now. Supercharged savings powered by J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. 144 West Shawnee.
Stop by your local Bravado Wireless store to discover our current plans and promotions.
Well, dude, I didn't see anything.
We're Bravado Wireless. and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905, serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 6.
The guy sitting to your left brings an intensity to the defensive side. Talk a little bit about your defensive coordinator, Steve Craver.
Well, it's good to have him on board. We got a hold of him last year, and he'll remember these names, and maybe some of our people out there listening, Rick Annell, Nick Button, and you're saying, why are you bringing those up? Those happen to be teammates of him at the University of Tulsa, some other people that I talked to and communicated with, and he's probably over here grinning. I think he's on TV. Get your little grin. He's already going, what? And thank you. They said the same thing you just said, Bill. Very, very intense. He's going to hold the kids accountable. He's a good man. Go get him, Coach Hill. And I have had the opportunity to meet Steve before, getting an opportunity to get him on board with us. But, just to hear that from a couple of guys that are real respected, hard-nosed men that coach hard. Rick's out, Nick is, I still don't know if he's coaching over to Holland Hall. Rick's down in Texas someplace. But to say that about Steve and getting him on board, we were very, very fortunate. And he is a great voice for us defensively, for a whole football team. And what he stands for and his intensity are excellent.
Steve Craver, the defensive coordinator of the Ruffers, is our guest here in this segment. And Craver, we've had numerous times to talk, but you've got a little theory, a little theology of what you expect your defensive players to do, and it's written down very specifically up there on the board in the locker room area. Talk about those points of emphasis that you as the defensive coordinator are pounding into the head of your players and demanding from them and getting from them out of the practice and in the game fields.
Well, it starts in the classroom. I think it starts there. I think how you do the little things is how you do everything. And so when we were, at this thing last year, we harped on the players to take care of their body. We harped on the players to take care of their grades. We harped on the players to be good gentlemen in general for the community. And I think it started there. And from there, practicing with a purpose, showing up on time, communicating when you can't be on time, and just being accountable for your teammates and us as coaches. And it's just good to see that can translate over to wins.
And it's translating into their practice habits and their game habits, because the things that you're going through and repeating on a day after day, you're able to go at a much faster pace this year than you could have ever thought about a year ago. And the kids are saying, let's just go faster. Let's play harder. And I like hearing from the defensive players when they want to hold each other accountable.
That's very important. And plus, we were new last year. It takes a while to build a program, and we started to see things come together. Obviously, it wasn't on the football field like we wanted it to. But there were little victories here and there that we felt like we could build on, great stories that are coming to fruition right now. And so just to know the game of football, we've been around football all our lives, and to see some of those point of emphasis come to fruition even now in the modern game and have success is very, very, very encouraging.
Talk about your players. Talk about these guys that are the I'm starting to call them the rougher wrecking crew, because they are truly bringing the intensity and making the opponent kind of shy away.
Well, we talked about that last year on this show. We talked about what type of defensive players that we wanted to have. We wanted the guys to look at the glass half empty, have that sense of urgency, always trying to be that guy to put the team on their back. We got one right beside me, and we're having guys walking in that direction. We got a couple of guys walking in that direction now, and so we're continuing to try to identify those guys and try to make sure those guys have success on and off the football field, and that's how we'll build this program.
It's 11 players playing as one, but you've got three different levels. You've got your defensive front line that we have seen at times. They just destroy anything in front of them. I look at part of that Sand Springs game and I think about how you were in the quarterback space or in the running back space. I mean, from the get-go, I think about the linebacker play that just continues to carry out their assignments, make their proper reads, and come and leave a bruise on the opponent. And then the secondary, that even though you're not the biggest guys in the secondary, they're playing much bigger than they are actually standing tall. They're playing with that type of effort.
Yeah, very, very proud. We want to coach the guys. Obviously, we identify those guys that want to put the team on their back. But then from there, those guys just take off with the film study, taking care of their body throughout the week, and walking in that direction. And I think it's all about relationships as well. I think these guys like playing for each other. That's a big difference that we're seeing this year. And so that definitely helps. We have some coaches on the football field that put in that extra time, and it kind of trickles down throughout all three levels.
I know it's maybe a higher pace, a faster pace on the collegiate level, but when you break down your playing time at the University of Tulsa, coming to a high school as a coach, it's still basic. I don't want to call it X's and O's, but it's still just basic, taking care of your individual job. And if all 11 of you do it, we're going to be successful, whether you're on the college level or the high school.
That is right, Bill. We preached on that. Do your 111. Everybody has a job to do, and everybody from the scout team player to our starting quarterback. And I think if people take pride in what they do, come in each and every day and try to do the best that they can do, whether it's giving us a look, whether it's running a route that we need to see on Friday night, and you're starting to see that each and every day with these kids, not just the kids that you see playing on Friday night. You see some of those kids that will be playing on Friday night that are helping us get to that point to where we got to go.
It's 2s and 3s that make 1s better, Travis.
Yeah, it was funny. I sent a little quote. Forgot who I got it from the other day. It says, championship football teams have championship scout players, okay? And so we put that in front of our highly competitive scout players is what they said, highly competitive scout team players. They got to be, Bill, to give us a look. And it's fun right now. Vernon Pepiak, I'm going to bring him up. Yes, last week. Vernon used to be able to go through practice at almost half speed to be able to keep up with the scout team. I've been watching Vernon have to work here lately. I've watched TT have to work a little harder because those guys are giving us a better look, and it's more of a full-speed look. And it's not that we're trying to – it's just that in order to go out, the worst thing that can happen is you go out on a Friday night, and it takes you 2 quarters to get up to speed with the other team because you haven't seen it yet. When you've seen that Monday through Thursday, you've kind of had glimpses of it, it goes a lot better for you on Friday night. And so the better the look, the better the practice, the better the play.
Steve, we talked about your players, but I know you have some guys on your side of the line, your side of the coach's room. That back couple of rows is kind of the defensive, but it's kind of the backbone of the Rougher offense because the the Rougher game plan because the offense is doing such an outstanding job. But tell me a little bit about the Travis Hill / Steve Craver defensive scheme and how well that works with your coaches, Coach Joe and all the others.
Yeah, Coach Joseph, Coach Prentice McNack, our D-line coaches, Coach Higgins, our linebacker coach, and Coach Pete Richardson, our cornerbacks coach. And obviously you got Coach T. Hill that started at defense and it still has a big hand in the game plan situation. And so it's always good to have guys look at the game different. I think we all have our expertise in different levels of the game. But when we're able to have that relationship and when we're scouting and we're able to come to that point of agreement on the weekend and put the game out there for these guys on Monday, I think you see a combination of all of our minds working together, and I love that.
I kind of jokingly said at the start of last Friday night's ball game, I know Coach Craver's losing his mind because the defense wasn't hitting on all 8 cylinders. But by the end of the first quarter, Coach, he was smiling.
No, there's no doubt about it. It just kids are kids, and so they knew that they were probably the better football team. But so we gave a few things up early, and nothing major. Obviously, there was a 0 on the board, but after that, it became a screeching halt. It wasn't 1, 2, 3 out, 1, 2, 3 out. So great game plan by Steve and the group there that he mentioned, and like I said, and our kids going out and executing and getting their motors running. It's fun to watch from the sideline.
Steve Craver, the defensive coordinator of the Roughers, our guest here at Runt's Barbecue. Now, Travis, you and I are getting a little special attention because our plates have arrived, okay?
Yes.
We had to wait and make Steve get his speech done before we would serve him his food. So we're going to take a time out. Hopefully Coach Craver will get his food during the break, and we'll continue with more of the Rougher Coaches Show live from Runt's Barbecue here on the Tuesday Night Coaches Show on Rougher TV and Okie Country 101.7.
Runt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts. Runt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Runt's Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Runt's Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Your injury recovery goals, plus Excel Therapy's expertise, are your winning game plan. At Excel, our #1 goal is to get you back to peak performance as quickly as possible. Our physical therapy and sports medicine professionals will take you from setback to comeback.
Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Runt's Barbecue is the home of the Tuesday Night Coaches Show here on Rougher TV as well as on Okie Country 101.7. And, Coach, we talked about game plans and coaching philosophies and coaching styles and what Coach Kramer does with his other defensive coaches. But it still comes down to those 11 guys or those 15 guys that get onto each side of the football every Friday night. As a defensive coordinator, you've been all smiles of late because of players like our guest here this evening.
Trayvon Houston, TT, what we refer to him as. And the best way I can introduce this kid is tell you a little bit about him. Last year he was an offensive lineman, okay, defensive lineman, offensive lineman. We noticed the way he communicated. We enjoyed it as the coaches. We talk about relationships, TT, all the time, and the way he communicated with us, the way he communicated with his team. As he trimmed down and got into the weight room and really enjoyed that this summer, we needed a Mike linebacker. Mike linebacker is a pretty important position, not only by ability and play, but the communication side of it. Done a wonderful job. He understands what we're asking for him. He's the guy that when we went over Coach Craver, we decide we're going to run a stunt, how we're going to go about it, how we're going to call it. It's based off of formation, based off where the back's at, based off maybe receivers, a whole lot of things. TT Houston has done a great job of getting us in the right calls and doing the right things.
Okay, our guest here tonight is Trayvon Houston. As you've already heard, he's known as TT. How did that come about? Give me how you got that tag. and while the players don't call you Trayvon Houston, they call you TT.
I got that name as soon as I came out of my mama. My first and middle name starts with a T, so they just call me TT.
All right. Well, hey, simple is, simple does. And that's kind of the way you're approaching football, right? Just
yes, sir.
Simple assignments and go out and deliver the simple job.
Yes, sir.
Now, Coach talked about a year ago you were in the offensive line.
Yes, sir.
Off season, you put your body through almost a reformation, a reconditioning. How hard was that? And then when Coach said, we want you to be the Mike linebacker, what kind of feelings went through you?
Well, putting myself through the change wasn't really hard because I was really dedicated to it. I wanted the change, so I just had to stick through it. And when they approached me with the linebacker position, I took it. Like, I just went for it because, one, I'm on the field. Two, I communicate as well as anybody else on the team, but I just know how to say things better.
Be a little bit more specific about how you say it. Are you talking about to your players?
Yes, to my players. See, some of my other players, they don't know how to speak. They know how to communicate, but they don't know how to speak. It's a different way you have to approach everybody because everybody is different. Mm-hmm. So the way I approach everybody is going off of past conversations and, like, hangouts. The way I've seeing you act, that's how I'm gonna approach you the way I know you're comfortable with.
The old golden rule: do unto others, you'd have them do unto you.
Yeah, instead of going through and yelling at them, get here, get there. Hey, bro, come on, you got this. I know you can. I don't know why you're not doing it. Hey, why you ain't go for that tackle? You know he can't guard. No, that is you. Stop BSing.
Now, when you're looking to the sideline, staring over at Coach Craver, and he's giving you the calls he wants, how do you turn around that sign, okay, and then relate it to your players out on the field?
Well, going through practice, we practice calls a lot, even right before the game. So going through practice with our scout team players, they be lined up how our opponents would. So when we get the call, I just recognize where the tight end, running back, receivers, I recognize where it is. I make the call.
Now, if we look at you standing up and put you on the scales, you're not the biggest, most physically dominating looking player,
yes,
but
sir.
you play with that type of motor. Tell me about your playing style through the eyes of Travion Thompson.
Look at a lion. The lion's not the fastest. It's not the strongest. It's just its mentality that makes it the king of the jungle. So my mentality on that field is don't let nobody beat you.
Very well said. Very well said. Got thumbs up from Coach there for sure.
We got Russ over there with thumbs up too, though. But yes, sir.
Oh, no. All right, now I'm going to ask you one other question because we ask this of every player.
Yes, sir.
Who's the guy in the locker room, who's your teammate that can get into the mind of TT? Who's the guy that can get you hyped up like nobody's business?
Hyped up, I say Jaron. Although me and Jaron, we have our spouts, but that's because he's like the way, like I said earlier, you have to know a certain way to talk to people. Jaron is tough love. So he reciprocates that tough love back to me, so I got to know that I got to do better because he expects better out of me. Because he knows I can get to that point. So Jaron is the one who pushes me to that level.
11 is 1, Coach.
11 is 1. And you know, for you people that have been watching us and listening, you know why we're winning now.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, I'm kind of a little bit ready to play right now, Bill. I mean, when I hear a kid take it over and say, this is what I want to do, and I'm willing to sacrifice, you know I get pretty emotional. It's good stuff. So, TT, we love it. Appreciate it. Keep it going, brother. Keep it going.
How's that food over there?
It's just waiting on me. It's looking at me, waiting on me.
Well, we're going to take a break and let him enjoy his food and come back and talk about this week's opponent, the Generals of U.S. Grant, with head coach Travis Hill, as the Tuesday Night Rougher Football Coaches Show continues live from Runt's Barbecue, 1003 West Okmulgee Avenue in Muskogee.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Roughers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence.
It's a time when uncertainty spreads faster than understanding. It's also a time when taking steps to prepare can help us all find a sense of security. At ServPro, helping our nation's homes, businesses, and shared spaces be more clean, be more safe, is why we're here. Here in your community, here to help.
The Muskogee Athletic Department and Executive Director Dr. Jason Parker would like to say thank you to this year's 2022-23 Super Sponsors for your year-long commitment to supporting Rougher Athletics. The Springs Skilled Nursing and Therapy, Armstrong Bank, Oklahoma Army National Guard, Chick-fil-A Muskogee, Tommy Nix Auto Group, and St. Francis Health Systems Muskogee. Together, these sponsors help win every day the Muskogee way. Go Ruffers. Welcome back to Runt's Barbecue, 1003 West Okmulgee Avenue. And I'm going to kind of move out of the way here just a little bit because, Travis, we got the king of barbecue at Muskogee.
We do. And, and I was told that before I even got here, okay? But then as we got the opportunity to talk with Russ Pratt and be down here, like I said, very, very enjoyable. And it is the king of barbecue around here. And that's not just here in Muskogee. From Tulsa, from Arkansas, we've been right here and watched people driving here on their motorbikes, whatever it may be, to eat right here at Runt's Barbecue.
Well, Russell, now I want you to come in here and tell me just a little quick history on Runt's Barbecue, how it started, how long you've been here, and we'll let you say what would be your best pick off the menu.
First off, burn-ins.
Burn-ins.
Got to be burn-ins.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a guy behind me saying yes. It started 21 years ago. I just always been in the restaurant business and decided to get out on my own, and I don't know why I did barbecue, but I did. Turned out that it was probably the right move to do, so, but been here 21 years.
Why do you say a little better barbecue? Because I'm just going to be point blank and honest. It's a whole lot better barbecue.
Well, I didn't want to make anybody mad.
Yeah, right. Like those of us who've been around this guy can understand he's going to hold his own in any conversation.
Yeah.
But the other part of my question is, why do you enjoy so much getting involved with the Muskogee Ruffers?
Well, I graduated from there for one. So, and my senior year was the last year we won a state championship.
There you go.
1986.
Yep. So I'm kind of pushing for that day,
Well,
One of
we
these
hope
days
we're
it's
going to
going to
get
happen.
you close this time.
They're looking good. So, but I just like to give back to the kids as much as I can, the school here, which Muscogee's not the only one I
Absolutely.
do. Hilldale, Fort Gibson, Pahuska, Locust Grove. I go quite a few places. So
I know from personal experience earlier this year, you came to make a delivery to the press box, and somebody said, "Well, can he come at 5:30?" And your answer to me was, "Bro, I got 4 more deliveries to make before 7 o'clock." You're a busy guy 7 days a week.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. We're open 5, but I still work on Monday and I preach on Sundays. So
there you go.
It's a busy life I have. So
how early do you have to get here to make all these delicious desserts?
I get here between 4:30 and 4:45 a.m.
Now, I'm glad you come that early so that I can come later and enjoy it. And I'm going to take a couple of pieces home with me tonight because the wife said, "Hey, don't forget me when it comes to desserts." And Ruff, we appreciate you, buddy.
Very much so.
We very much appreciate you for being part of Ruffer TV and our broadcast each and every week. Now, Travis Hill, let's talk quickly about the opponent Friday night, another road trip against the Generals of U.S. Grant. And there's no faking anybody. You take a look at scores, you can kind of see this should be a ball game. The Ruffers should go and expect to win.
It's 2 hours and 17 minutes to get over there and get back, so we're going to spend more time on the bus than we are in the field. And you're right, Bill. It's not being disrespectful. I believe they shoot people straight. Grant fights through some obstacles, but they got a football team, and they're doing a good job, and I want to support them on that. But if we go out and play well, we'll have a opportunity to play a lot of kids, and that's good, and that's a great opportunity for our kids, and we look forward to it.
It's also kind of a chance for you, as you said, to play a lot of kids,
right.
And in a ball game like this only furthers the development of your first line guys because your second line guys, like we were talking about a moment ago, when they play in the game, they're going to come back and they're going to work harder and put more into the preparation for the next ball game because, hey, I might be that next guy up.
Nope, there's no doubt about it. So, you call it a reward, call it, every kid that gets an opportunity to get out there on that field is more apt to go out on through Monday through Thursday and give you a better look, give you better opportunities. So, Bill, we'll have some kids grow, and we'll probably, what always happens in games like this, we find somebody that we didn't know could play and can play. It always happens. So the door's open for us, a lot of opportunity this weekend on Friday night to go play another football game, and like I said, a lot of kids will take advantage of it.
Russell Pratt, did you come to ask Coach if you could play Friday night?
No, I'm a little beat up. I don't think I can do that.
All right. Well, hey, for everybody here at Runt's Barbecue, thanks for joining us for another edition of the Tuesday Night Coaches Show, live from Runt's Barbecue, the home of a whole lot better barbecue. I'm just going to change the slogan myself. 1003 West Okmulgee, where you can find barbecue, you can find catfish, you can find shrimp, And every Tuesday, it's Tuesday night tacos, Taco Tuesday here at Runt's. And there's some special combination that Runt's puts together in their kitchens that you'll enjoy along with all those great tasting desserts. For all of us here on Rougher Football, thanks for joining us for another edition of the Tuesday Night Coaches Show. And don't forget, join us Friday night live from U.S. Grant, CB Spiegel Stadium. Google that one up and see if you can find your directions. But come support the Ruffers, and if you can't do it, you can follow it on Ruffer TV as well as on Okie Country 1017. For all of us, to all of you, remember, it's a great day to be a Ruffer. Good night, everybody.
Runt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts. Runt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Runt's Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Runt's Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.